Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Kerri Nevin, and I am so excited about my interview today with the amazing Chris Dorner. So let's wait. I'm just looking to see who's coming on. Oh, we've got wonderful people. Hi. Everyone's joining for the party. And that's the attitude that I'm approaching this with, is to have a good time and to have fun. So I'm going to get Chris and invite her to join. Welcome, welcome everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Chris Dorner, Christina Dorner.
Hi,
Hi.
Kerri. How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm so happy. I'm really excited to be able to have this conversation today.
Me too.
And yeah, and to be able to just share what you do because it is so unique and it is so special. And it really helps me. And I just felt like, well, then I just want to share who Christina Dorner is.
Oh,
That's what I want to
that's so sweet.
do. I'm so happy.
Thank you for
So
having me.
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming on today. This is the Let's Talk series, and where we celebrate those special people who are supporters of mental well-being. And today we have a very special guest. We have Christina Dorner, the mastermind behind C. Dorner Fitness on YouTube. I discovered Chris during my search for an at-home workout. And, I just was trolling YouTube and I saw you and I was immediately drawn in by you, Chris. Your dynamic personality and your just wanting to have a good time and have fun made me just so happy and so joyful, really so joyful. Because, physical health and mental health for me are one. And so I feel like if I can set my mind and my heart and get those two things in alignment, then everything else comes together. And you're just this amazing focal point for me to help make that happen. So I'm filled with gratitude for you, truly.
Oh,
I am.
thank you.
So let's talk a little bit. Let me introduce you a little bit. Christina Dorner has been teaching group fitness for 30 years, and you look like you're 12, so I don't know how that's possible. Seriously, I'm like, it's whatever you're doing, keep doing it. She's also been a personal trainer for the last 20 years. She's an Emmy winner, which we're gonna hear a little bit more about, and she's a dog mom, and that plays a big role in her workouts, as all of you must know, right? And her philosophy on life is really all about balance, and that was really in alignment for me. I feel like at this point in life, things are coming at us very quickly. And it's like you're in a car and you're going like 90. And so if we don't slow down to figure out who we are, what we want, what's important to us today, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it. And I think I said this too before in our earlier conversation. When I do one of your workouts, I forget all about my day.
Well,
Can't
that's what happens to me when I go into class. When I teach, I start to just get into it and I forget, like, especially for step, because your mind just has to be right in it. So it's like, but any of the workouts, it does, like, you are in that zone. You don't have your phone with you. Well, some people have their phone to comment, but that's like, it's still within the class. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's, because if you're not focused, I mean, even I've done like some of your dance videos too, which I love. Stuff to me is like dance. That's what it is. And, but if you're not really focused, you could miss the step. It's happened. I've fallen right down and thank goodness I know how to fall. So I was able to get right back up again.
That's what it is. You get back up, it's
You
like,
get back up. Yeah. And that's the message, right? It doesn't matter what life throws at you. You can deal with it and then you can get back up again. So let's get to some of these questions.
yeah.
For our viewers today, hold your questions till the end of the interview. And if you have them, and then we'll call you out and we'll answer what we can. Chris, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. And I love
Can
I
you,
see so many of you guys on. I just want to say hi, everybody. I love you guys.
I love them too. I do. And I love how when you're starting any of your workouts, you're like, oh my God, hi Kathy, hi Karen, hi. And you like give all these amazing shout outs. And I'm like, I want to hear hi Kerri. And I think you did. I
I
think you did give
did.
me a shout
I
out.
think I was in
Yes.
a workout with Lisa, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I think I
Yeah,
came to
yeah.
one after we
I'm like,
talked. Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, she said hello to me. That's amazing. I love it. So Chris, can you share a little bit about your background and your journey into fitness? What ignited your passions?
Well, I just remember my mom. My mom always had. She always really had a hard time with her weight, and she'd be up and down. And I do remember being, you know, gosh, I don't even know how old, but being in the living room with her doing Joni Greggins at 6 in the morning, like,
Wow.
and I just loved her. She had this little, yeah, this little, like, tight blue shiny leotard with a side ponytail, and she was so cute. And it wasn't even exercise. It was just like, it was, for me, it was movement. It was fun. And I was very, my parents would probably have told you that I was very hard to keep down. So I was always moving and wanted to dance. I always wanted to be a dancer. And that just didn't happen, but like the gymnastics and all that stuff. So everything that people always think that I'm a dancer, that I was like trained. I didn't take a dance class ever in my life until I was like, I want to say like 37, and I took one with a friend. Yeah.
Oh my God. 37. You were 37 when you first took a dance class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was hilarious.
For the people who watch Chris do her dance workout classes, can you just believe what you're hearing right now? Because I cannot. I'm like, really? Oh,
Yeah.
37. Okay, if you say
Yeah.
so.
So I
um,
just, I was a dance. I was, gosh, I don't know. My mom was going to Living Well Lady, and that was a chain kind of. It was all women's gym. Everything was pink, and there was pink carpet on the floor, and whatever. So, she and my sister, and then my sister got me a job there when I was 16, just answering phones. And one night, one of the instructors called out a step class and said, and I was like, I'll do it. And they're like, what? And I literally don't even know where that person came from. Like when I taught the class, I was done, and I'm like, who? Because I was kind of shy. Like I was not one to jump in front of a class, and I still am, even though you wouldn't think so. But I still like don't like to makes me nervous to get in front of like a big. But only when I'm teaching classes is it comfortable for me, because I feel like I know what I'm doing, So, but I just jumped in, and then right after the class, everybody was like, what, like,
what
when are you
just
teaching
happened?
again? And I'm like, I don't know. And then my boss was so great, Laurel. She is like my stepmom in
Oh,
many ways,
wow.
and she was like, yeah, we're going to get you certified. And then that was that. And, it was just, it was at that time, 16, it was just a job that paid more than like scooping ice cream. And I got to exercise while I was doing it.
Yes, yes. And so, how did it make you feel to discover that about yourself at such a young age? You were 16 years
Yeah.
old.
But it was weird. I wasn't really totally into it. It was just a job at that time, like
Okay.
something that I was good at that I didn't even I really, it's weird to say it, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm great, but like I didn't have to try. Like for some reason, it just clicked with me, and I knew what I was doing. And I wouldn't say it wasn't until like my late 20s that it started to become like, I really enjoy exercise. And, as a teenager, I didn't, I was just doing it because it was a job. And then I started to really enjoy starting to know more people in my classes, and
Mhm.
just it became more of the lifestyle later on. Yeah.
Lifestyle. So, and the emotion that strikes me is that it was an amazing opportunity for connection.
Yeah.
You had that personality that would draw people in and make people feel good. And also you were available for it. You were
Yeah.
available for that connection, which is a really special gift.
Yeah. It was just really just fun for me. Like I always wanted to make it, I didn't even really try, but I wanted it to be enjoyable for people, because I don't want to exercise with something I don't like to do. So like, I mean, for instance, like I can look at another form of exercise that other people are really into. I might just not like it, but that doesn't mean it's not good. For me, I might not like it, so,
Right, right.
but I want to have fun when I'm exercising and make it feel like you're accomplishing something, but also enjoying it while you're doing it.
Well, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a party. I mean, I love how you get a shout out to your mom. Hi, mom. And that's like, I always laugh out loud. It's so precious. And then when you have your dogs, Lou and Anna Banana, you're like, hey,
Mhm.
bananas. And I see this little tail going across the
I know.
screen.
She like knows just how to just show her tail as it goes across
No,
the screen, like, and then Luke sits right in the middle, like, oh,
she
I'm here,
does.
mommy.
And then you like do it around him, and I'm like, oh God. But it's always amazing, and I think that's too part of your personality that like we get to see this is who you really are,
Yeah.
and that's to me, Dr. Brene Brown talks about vulnerability as a key trait to feeling happy and connected and safe in life, and that you have that in spades. You just have that.
Thanks.
And what that does truly, and what it does is it helps ignite others. I think for sure myself, I'll speak for myself. It helps ignite that feeling in me that I can allow myself to be seen. And that's a truly special gift for someone like me who struggled with horrible panic disorder and anxiety through most of my young adulthood into my early 20s.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning. So little did you know, you're like a mental health wellness teacher as well. I don't know if
Oh,
you knew that, but you are.
oh. Well, and I think too that, and I've said it sometimes here and there on videos, and if you don't do like, I always think like if people don't do all of them, they don't get to hear all of these things. But like, I have absolutely suffered from depression through my life, and it is sometimes debilitating and sometimes awful. And um, I do find that having that now that this community helps me also, and people probably would never ever think that. They would just be like, oh, she's all happy all the time. And like, I said this in classes before where there are times that I am like holding it together before I hit that go live button. And my husband sees it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I could do it today. And then I do it. And I think that just being out there and saying that has been a problem for me also makes a connection, because it's not just, there are plenty of days where I don't want to do it, where I feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get up and do this today, but I do. And then it's not just the exercise that makes me feel better. It's the fact that I did it. And then I'm like, okay, it's like, it's just, again, yeah, of course the exercise makes you feel better with the endorphins, but just the fact that I got up and did what I said I was going to do and did it
You know,
when I thought
that
I
what
couldn't.
That's amazing. And it's especially valuable when you feel like you don't feel like doing it. And so what I tell people is that that's a deposit in your integrity account. That's you showing up for you. And when you do that, there's an energy and a resonance, I think, that other people just pick up from you. And again, you show up for you, you demonstrate you're safe and you're good with you. And then that, it's like a pebble in a pond that ripples out. And, it's good to know that you're human just like the rest of us,
Oh yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah. We're all human. We're all here. We're all working it out. And, it's an opportunity when I don't want to do something. That's how I try to. I'm like, okay, so what is the opportunity right now? So
Yeah.
beautifully, beautifully said. And thank you for sharing and being so transparent and vulnerable again. It's so useful, and I think so helpful for other people to know that you're with them. You're with
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And like, there's this guy that I follow on Instagram, and his name is Steve Boat, and he used to do the most amazing step classes at conferences, like probably, I don't know if it was I guess late 90s, early 2000s. His classes were amazing. And he posted something the other day, and it was like, remember that thing that you were worried about for hours and then the next day it was like no reason to be? Like those little things, like it's true. I'm like worrying about something that doesn't even happen, like that hasn't happened or might not happen. And it's kind of like it just that little statement just made me be like, come down a minute. Like there's no reason to worry about stuff that you can't control or that hasn't even happened yet. And that's, you know.
I was just talking about it last night with another patient of mine, and we were talking about there's some anime show, um, My Hero Academia or something, and there's a character on there that can see 24 hours in advance. And I can't remember the name. It's like Wide Eye or something. And the idea is like you're already into tomorrow and you're worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. And so they use it as like an adjective or like a verb. Like, are you doing this to yourself? Do you really want to do that to yourself? So I wish I could remember. I'll tell you afterwards. But it really helped to bring me into the present moment and be like, yeah, you know what? Power is here. The power is now. We've got no power over what happened yesterday. We don't know what's coming, you know? So groove on now because you can. And that's what your videos do is they bring you right here, right now in a big way right now. Snaps to you. Okay. So, tell us, how did C. Dorner Fitness come into being? How did that happen?
I wanted to do it for a long time and I kept on not doing it. I was procrastinating. So like, it would be like, okay. So the channel was there for probably 8 years before, but like, I would be like, okay, everybody, let's do an ab workout. It's snowing out. And then March 17th, 2020, couldn't go to the gym, you know, and I just was like, by the way, we don't say the word of any of that to happen. We just say March 2020.
Correct.
And, yeah. And we're like, and I just said, does anybody want to do a workout live? I'll just do it out of the living room on Facebook. And that day there was probably maybe like 20 people on from like gyms what I taught at over the years. And then it just started to go a little bit more. And then I would take the video down from Facebook and upload it to YouTube. And then by June, I had 1,000 subscribers. Everybody was so awesome. They were just like, we'll share. And I'm like, ah.
I love it.
And then we changed. We went from moving my furniture in the living room for like 4 months every day to making a sort of studio in the basement. In the studio, if you look through my videos, you can see the like progression of like, you know, shooting with my phone with terrible audio and then like a little bit better and then a little better and then where I am now. So it's kind of funny. You could actually, if you go back in the years, you can see the progression of it. So
right.
yeah.
Right. No, it's fabulous. It's a fabulous progression. And I think I remember you saying at one point, you were like, I don't know. Like, I think Kevin, your husband, was like, you need to do this. You need to do this. DJ Kevin Kev. We love him, by the way. I love when you like scan over or he like, just you see a hand that waves hello. I'm just like, my God, Kevin.
I know.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, he was actually, before I was doing this, he kept being like, when are you going to do this C. Dorner Fitness thing? And I'm like,
and could you could you conceive that it would become what it's become at this point?
No.
That was not in your vision. You were just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have fun. I want to work out. I'm going to ask if people want to join. And there, you know, your videos get 10,000 views, 20,000 views. Like people clearly love what you do and do them over and over and over again. I'm one of those people. Right. So I think that again, it's just a beautiful example of you deciding I want to have a good time. And if I got to live here, because I take myself wherever I go, I might as well make this fun. Right?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, I wasn't even going to do step because like, you know, people, I had taught it forever and like people at gyms just died out. So like even at the gym where I was teaching right before all this happened, it was kind of out. And I asked if I could teach this class that was just like a cardio mashup of everything. And I'll never forget it. They were like, everybody in the class was like, what are the steps? Like what? And the first night, they were just all over the place. And then by like the 4th week, they were like, can we do more of the step? And I'm like, yeah. So then same thing kind of happened with this. Somebody just was like, can't you do a step? And then that just kind of took off. And those are my most viewed videos of the step classes. They're
That,
like, what? People
oh,
do the weights.
I know. And Chris, one of the first questions, you're like, so what do you do? Do you do anything other than the step? I was like, I'll do weights. I do weights. I do weights like twice a week. You're like, okay, we're good. What's interesting about the step is that you're not just working your body, you're working your mind.
Yes.
You're growing that brain because you have to learn those movements and the hand-eye coordination and all of that goes into it. So from just a basic level, you're keeping your brain sharp while you're doing this. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And even the memory, just remembering the steps, because sometimes, this instructor forgets them. So
Totally it
but,
happens.
but yeah, I mean, it is. And that's the thing is like, that's another thing is that people could come on and be like, well, I couldn't get these steps and this was too hard. And I'm like, well, that right there is putting up a big X and being like, I can't. And I'm just not even going to try. And that's not even like me to be like, get your butt, blah, 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 blah. But like, you're making an excuse to stop something that you could absolutely learn if you just took the time to do it. And just like anything else, for instance, I love crossword puzzles. I like to do crossword puzzles before I go to bed. It kind of like helps my mind. But like, I find when I don't do them for a long time, going back to them is like, oh, like, and just anything, like learning. I learned how to take care of my petunias this year. It's like beautiful.
It's so great. It's so wonderful.
Like, things like that, like just like the things that you want to do. If you actually want to do them, you will take the time to learn it and get better at it, and that's it.
That's it. And we make it more complicated, I think, than it needs to be. I think first of all, when something's unknown, like, hey, this is my first live. I am so big putting on this live right now. I feel like I just learned something, right? I know. But when something's unknown, I think we engage that fight or flight response a bit, and it puts us into a state of contraction. And then the learning, the ideas, the insights, the inspirations can't get through. And so it's so interesting to me that when you say, all right, and you always say, hey, it's just step. You're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You can do it. Yeah. And the goal is not perfection. The goal is simply to show up and communicate to yourself like, yeah, I can do unknown things. I'm going to do unknown things. I'm going to make that my business.
Yeah. It's funny because, you probably have seen all of our guests, I mess up, the guests mess up. And there's it's so funny because I would say 98% of the people that watch, they actually, and it's so weird to say, enjoy that they mess up, but it's not like polished and perfect, and nobody is. So it's kind of like when, you see someone taking the modification on mine, and sometimes it's me taking the modification, which you never see in any workout videos. So one day I did a whole step class where my two guests had steps and I did it on a floor mat. I just did it on a mat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can do this too.
Yeah, so it's like, gosh, now I lost my train of thought.
No, but we're talking about, how fight or flight engages this feeling of I don't want to do it, but you don't have to be perfect. Yeah. And it's totally the journey. And who wants to struggle, and then get the big relief at the end? Don't you just want the whole journey to be fun? And this was fun. And I had a great time. And I made a connection. That's what the step journey is for me, at least. Yeah. And when you laugh at yourself, it's just everything. It's just, oh my God, ABBA was on, and it happens to me because I adore ABBA, live for it. I watch all the Mamma Mia movies. I just can't. And then when you play it, it's very hard for me to keep my focus because I'm singing, with the song. But isn't that part of it? Isn't that? I know you do. I know you're ABBA. What happened?
Someone says I make up my own moves all the time. Yeah. What? Who cares? Make up your own moves. That's actually kind of part of life. Make up your own moves. No, that might be a new t-shirt.
Oh, we're gonna have to get t-shirts. Oh my God, I feel like you guys, a movement. Let's get step t-shirts and let's all wear them and attend Chris's class live. All of us wearing our t-shirts and
Well,
it'll be
our
amazing.
last weekend there were so many people with their step and their Dorner fitness shirts. I was so grateful. It was wonderful. I'm like, oh
Oh, I love that because do you sell them on your on Amazon? Is that how that
yes,
works?
it's on. Actually, it's through. It's called Spreadshirt, but it's on my website. If you go to my website and go to, I think it says merchandise at the top. There's
Yes.
like, shirts and there's sweatshirts and t-shirts and tanks and cups and all
Wow.
kinds of stuff. So yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing. I'm getting my shirt. I'm getting my shirt because it's like,
I'm gonna send you one. Okay,
oh
I'm gonna send you one.
my God, that is amazing. Thank you. Oh my God.
Fine.
I love it. Okay. So let's talk about your Emmy. So I see on your videos and there's this Emmy in the corner. I was like, what? Of course she is. Of course she's an Emmy winner. Can you tell us about that?
so, so I used to work in TV production. Uh, it's hard. It's really a weird thing, but I got a job after I went to school for like computer tech support kind of thing, doing the company that invented that virtual first down line. Do you know what that is? Do you
Oh,
watch
no,
football?
no.
Okay. So neither did I. I actually didn't even know what a first down was when I got
I think I know that. That I do know. So
So
with
it's a
you.
line that when you're watching TV, it shows it's like a virtual line that's not written there in the
Yes,
stadium.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
It's
there's
like
like
a
a yellow
yellow
one that shows what,
line,
yep,
like a
yeah.
yellow line, right? Yeah.
So it shows like the line of scrimmage and then the first out, like the line where they need to get to. So I got a job um, doing that, like traveling for that. It was very weird.
Wow.
At the time, it took like 6 people to put that line on the field, and now the technology has gotten so great that they don't do it anymore. So that was what I did. It was like this virtual graphics type of thing. Now I didn't make any of the graphics, but they I just put them on the screen. So which was difficult. But anyway, then I got a
Wow.
job doing that for the Eagles. And then in 2018, I can't remember, 2017 was the first year I did it. I worked at the US Open Tennis
Wow.
in New York, and I was doing these virtual graphics that were on the court saying who was on each side. So
Hmm.
the second year I did that, I get an email like a month after the US Open happened, and it's like, the graphics team has won an Emmy for, the US Open. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And so like, I assume that the graphics like coordinator or someone is going to get this. Like, I don't think I'm getting an Emmy.
Yeah.
So then 3 months later in the mail comes this box marked from Bristol, Connecticut. And I'm like, Kevin's like, what is it? I'm like, you're going to die.
1,000%.
It's like beautifully, like this black box, beautifully lined with
Oh,
like purple satin. And he's like,
oh,
what? And it was
what
hilarious.
happened?
So,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
so I have an
Were
Emmy.
you like, were you like taking pictures with your Emmy?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And when people come over, they want to take pictures with it too. They're
Oh
like,
my God, absolutely.
it's like,
It's so
so,
good.
yeah.
Oh God,
So,
congratulations on that. That's
thanks.
awesome. That's awesome. This is a woman of many talents, people. She doesn't just look pretty. She's smart. She's amazing. She's everything. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. That's awesome. Because I was like, what's that about? How did that happen? Okay, so here's a question. How do you think like fitness and emotional wellness relate? What do you think about
Uh,
that?
I do think that moving your body does, even if it's not to the point where it's crazy hardcore exercise, but walking or doing something, especially when it's with someone else too, that does, it's good connection time with someone else. I do feel that, again, the movement itself is like, it just makes you feel better. I think too, when it comes to weight training, that it helps you build confidence in the fact that you're stronger to do things. And I think that there's this like thing with weight training that a lot of women, and I hate to say that, but it's true. I mean, from a trainer as long as I've been doing this industry, a lot of women are like afraid to just pick up the weights. And it's like, well, I'm going to get big and bulky. And I'm like, are we still doing that? Are we still saying
Oh,
that?
yeah. No, you're not going to turn
And
into Arnold. It's not going to happen.
right. Right. I
Right.
mean, you would have to, it's a lot of work to be like that. So last night, and I think I saw her name on, I think her name was Luz. She sent me a video last night of her, and she sent as a video of her 5-pound dumbbells, and it said, "This was me for over a decade." And then she like opened up the camera, and it was like her eights, and then she showed me her tens and
Oh,
her 12s and her 15s. It was
oh.
like, I feel so amazing, and I'm like, and that is some progress that makes her feel better. That just when I got that, I was like, can I please share this because I want people to know what that feels like. And
Yes,
that is whenever you do something that is for your body, it also is going to help your mind. Like even with your eating, like when you do things with a little less sugar or start to do like clean up what you're eating a little bit, those things are physical, but help with your mind as well.
they do.
Yeah.
And I've got my celery juice right here. I'm going to be downing this after our little Getty here. Um, and you know what's interesting? I don't know if you know of Louise L. Hay. She wrote the book "You Can Heal Your Life."
Oh yes, I love her.
Love Louise Hay,
Yeah.
and she so like really birthed the affirmations, positive affirmations movement. And so one of the affirmations that she offers is, "As I'm moving in my body, I'm moving in my life." And I always say it before I get on with you, because that's a communication. Everything's communication. You know, your body's talking to you all the time. Your emotions are a form of communication to you. And so there's a great place called Heart Math Institute where I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they wanted to determine whether brain was top down deciding how everything was going to go, or if there was a relationship between brain and heart. And so they took two measures. They looked at EEG waves, you know, those little things that electrodes they put on your head. And then they looked at EKG rhythms. And they did an experiment where they induced two states. The first state was irritation. And in irritation, the measures looked all wonky and people couldn't perform relatively simple tasks. But then this is the kicker. They induced a state of appreciation, and both the EKG waves and the EEG waves matched each other beautifully and perfectly. People reported feeling in the zone. Athletes reported being able to do very complex movement very accurately. And so they came up with a relaxation exercise that is supposed to help connect brain or mind and heart. And literally, you put yourself in a positive place on purpose. And then you got the awesome biochemistry. Like if one little technique is to it's amazing. So you put your hand over your heart. And when you put your hand over your heart, you're automatically increasing the flow of oxytocin in your system. And oxytocin is that biochemistry that you get when you have a baby on your chest or your fur baby. I know
Oh
you
my
know
God.
what that's like.
Right before this came on, Louis was laying on my chest downstairs, and I was like, really? I have to, oh my
You're
gosh, I
like,
have to go.
I gotta go. I don't want to go, but I gotta go. But so what you did was you boosted that oxytocin. And then when you have that, it's what you get when you give someone a hug. It's the same thing.
Oh,
So
wow.
isn't that
That
amazing? Oh, I'm
is.
seeing heart emoji. I'm seeing heart emojis right now, you guys. It's amazing. I
Oh,
love that. That makes me so happy. So the idea here is that you get to take advantage if you raise your consciousness about what you're doing and why you're doing it and put an intention behind it. It will supercharge the action and then it'll raise your vibration so that you're going to be like right here, ready for all the good stuff, all the fun stuff, all the awesome people, all the amazing stuff. That's what I always say.
yeah, that's awesome though. That's amazing.
That's my
Yeah.
soapbox a little bit.
Ah,
Okay. I just jumped on. I get in there. I'm sorry about that.
wow. I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So here's a more of a little bit of a personal question. How do you maintain your own personal wellness? I'm always interested in people who are advocates the way you are with physical fitness and mental well-being. What do you do for yourself personally, if you don't mind sharing?
Uh, that's a tough question because Kevin is always like, nobody understands how much work it is to what I do. Like a lot of people just think that like I'm like doing a workout in the morning and then that's it. And like a lot of people think that that's what like doing YouTube or whatever is. And
Yeah.
it's much more than that. I mean, I'm constantly, yes, you might know, a lot of people know, I read every single comment on YouTube. Um, I've gotten to the point where I can't always reply to all of them because it literally takes forever, but I do read them all and I always make sure I like them. I try to, um, uh, respond to as many as I can. So it's a lot. It's that and, graphics and all this other stuff and emails. And I love it. I'm so grateful for all of it. But yeah, it is hard to find time to do things for myself. I I love when I can get, and it's funny because it's like more movement, but I do love doing yoga.
Fabulous.
One of my, this sounds funny, but like one of my favorite things to do is watch scary movies with my dog by myself. Kevin wants nothing to do with them.
I love that too. I love that too. And I like to curl up on the couch.
Yeah,
And mostly I like to see the ones that I've already seen because I kind of know what's
right.
happening, but I still get freaked out, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, anytime that there's a dog in a scary movie, I have to Google now, like, does the dog die? Because I'll turn it off.
Right. Yeah. We're not watching Cujo. We're
No,
not doing it.
yeah, no.
If the dog
Yeah.
makes it, it's fine. We're signing in.
Yeah. I love drinking some wine with my Vanessa and Amanda.
Oh, well, I did note in your bio, you're like, I love peanut butter. I love wine. I was like, oh my God, this woman. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love peanut butter and wine?
I do love peanut butter. Oh, I've been trying to not have as much peanut butter, but it is so good. Oh my
It is
gosh.
so good. Do you do that? Do you do that PB2 powder? Because at least you can put it like in your shakes and then it's not as
Yeah,
calorie dense. Does that make
I
sense?
tried that. I feel like for me, it's the I love the consistency of peanut butter itself. So like, yeah,
Texture.
I tried. Yeah, so
Well,
I'm like, I'll just eat peanut butter when it's okay to eat peanut butter.
but that's again, I think that goes back to balance. I think that
Yeah,
goes back to
yeah,
balance because when you really love something, this is another conversation I was having with another patient the other day. Maybe don't decide things are going to be black or white. Maybe take a minute to check in with yourself in the morning and ask yourself, hey, am I prepared to challenge myself today? Or do I need to take it a little bit easier and nurture myself a little bit?
yeah,
Um, and so we have to have both. And
yeah.
if that's what you enjoy, it's not like you're sitting around eating bonbons all day. I mean, you are balancing it out by moving your booty. Like it's
Yeah,
happening. You're doing it,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And there's some days that like literally at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, I'm done, Kev, and he's like, be done then, and I'm just like, okay. And but and so I've been trying to, and sometimes it's hard because I'm working at home, so it's like sometimes what's hard is that I I try to not and do things after like 6 p.m. And then sometimes like, oh well, maybe I'll just do a little bit here because I'll get ahead of it. Um, and recently I've been at like around like 8 o'clock. I actually just like put my phone on do not disturb and put it across the room. I didn't do that last night, but but I try to do it all as much as I can
Yeah.
now, and I do feel that I'm sleeping better when I do that.
Yes.
There's not as much like going on that like when I get it away. Like don't nobody's allowed in.
So it's a
After a certain,
boundary.
yeah,
What you're talking about right now, it's a boundary with yourself.
yeah,
But I love that because everything is you in relationship to yourself first before it's in relationship to anything else. So I started this morning, I got into TikTok or something on Instagram, like, no, can't do it. Turning it off, putting it away. I'll get sucked into it. And
yeah,
so that's what that is. I mean, when you are entertained by something or you love something, you're going to get sucked in and you do love what you do.
yeah.
But it's math. It's a gas tank. If you don't pour in, you can't support other people. You can't get
Oh
hungry
yeah,
enough to make somebody else feel full. You can't get poor enough to make somebody else feel wealthy, but you can get wealthy enough yourself to inspire and support other people. So your boundaries are strong. And I mean, I feel like we're all a work in progress all the time. So if you didn't do it last night, big whoop. Like, who cares?
Right.
You'll do it
Right. Yeah.
again.
Yeah. It was Liam's fault. I'm going to blame Liam. He was messaging me.
Oh, Liam, if you're watching, we know where you live. Love you, Liam.
We do love Liam.
So, speaking about playing an active role in supporting mental health and mental well-being, you recently supported the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in Ohio
Yeah.
through a weekend of step workouts in honor of the memory of a young man, Aiden Charles Bailey. Can you tell
Oh.
us what influenced you? How did that come to be part of that event?
So it was actually just one workout for that weekend. It was just one step workout.
One step workout? Okay.
Yeah, a few months ago, a woman, Barbara Bailey, who is just amazing, sent me this long email that was just written so beautifully, and told me that she had lost her son to suicide, and she was going through all of the motions, all of the therapy, the groups, the medication, doing what she was supposed to do. And then a year later, she decided to get a step and start for 1 week, and then one turned into two, then 2 to 4. And then she lost her brother from a massive heart attack, who was only 39.
No.
And she said that ignited her fire to just like do more, like to just take care of herself. And I read this and I said to Kevin, I go, I need to go to this woman's house and hug her. And and Kevin's like, I know, me too. Me too. So
you guys are the best.
This is awful, but I literally stalked her Facebook, trying to find Barbara Bailey. Trying to find her. I find her husband. I send him a message. I want to surprise you, right? He's like, she's not into surprises. I'm like, So I said, okay. And he was like, this is nice of you though. But I'm like, okay. So I messaged her and I said, I think that maybe I want to do, I don't remember if we came up to it together, but we decided to do an event that was a fundraiser in her son's name, for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And, it was amazing. Honestly, like we had about a little over 50 people, but there was, between that and then the donation page, we raised over $6,000.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible. So generous. Yeah.
Incredible.
30% of the ticket sales went to the AFPA, American Foundation Suicide Prevention. Yeah. And oh my God. And like the weekend all went so fast. I went to their home. They made me lunch. They were just so wonderful. Oh my gosh. Her daughter came to the event too. She had a friend from the support group that she is online, fly down from like Boston area to come to the event as well.
Wow.
Jess, that was so great. So she had lost her son too, and the two of them had become friends over the time.
Oh, wow.
But it was like, and it was cool, like, because I saw that her birthday was yesterday. So I was like, okay, so this is, September. We'll do it in September. I see her birthday. It's also Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And I was like, all of this is right.
Yes, all of it is. Couldn't be more right. Couldn't be more right.
So, and she was just so lovely. And I'm so proud of her work. She's brought her blood pressure down. She's she just is this beautiful being, and I'm so happy and so grateful that I got to meet her and that she shared her story, because it is so important that we put it out there, that everybody knows that this is a problem, that this is something that we can look for and try to help if we see signs or if we see someone struggling,
Yeah, we can do something. I think when you see something, say something, as other people have said, and taking it seriously. If you're seeing somebody struggle, it's what a gift. What a gift. I mean, again, you've given Barbara and her family a focal point of joy, a focal point of realizing that they can do something to move the needle on how they feel in those moments.
Yeah. And so many people had come out. about like, when I put it out there, people were like, I lost my brother, or I lost my father, or who, and it's affected so many people. And I'm just so grateful for everyone who came and everyone who donated, because if we can just help. And that was one thing Barbara said that I'm so proud of her. She said, I want people to know, because if it helps one other person not do this, then it's worth it. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to share his story. And so it's, yeah.
Talk
Do you hear
about,
him?
yes, I do. Lou, is that Lou?
That's Lou.
Lou's giving his 2 cents. He's like, preach.
Why is it someone cuddling with me? Oh my God.
Poor puppy. Oh my God. We'll be with you soon, Lou. Well, what a mitzvah you've done for her, and how you have connected all of these people through doing what you love and through being available. Are we going to get a cameo of Lou right now,
Possible.
guys?
I could maybe bring you guys downstairs.
Can we? Let's go
Yeah.
into it. Let's do it. Let's go there. Let's go there. Oh,
Okay, so this is what it does for those of you who want to know how Louis is during the day. So, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, buddy.
And then he's barking at her.
Oh, he's barking at Anna.
Yes.
Anna's
He
like,
just barks at
whatever.
her. Can you see her? There she is. There she
Yes,
is.
I love her.
And now he's just down there like being a pain.
God, that was amazing. I'm so happy you brought us into where the magic happens. That was awesome.
The magic of the cuddly couch. That's it.
The cuddly couch. That's where the magic happens. Well, when we talk about how do we take care of ourselves, clearly that's how one of the ways that you take care of yourself is by having your little fur babies with you. And they give so much. We actually have 2 cats. One of them chose me, Onyx and Kira. Onyx chose me, and he's a ragdoll, a cat. He's got ragdoll in him, so he hangs. So the kids wear him like a shawl, like a scarf around their shoulder. And he legit gets so happy, he forgets to swallow and he drools. And I need a burpee cloth to walk around with him. And he's like my baby. He likes me to shake him and rattle him like a baby. It's amazing. But we get so much. We get so much care and comfort. And so really, that's what this whole discussion has been about, is about that beautiful mind-body connection, and Chris Dorner sharing her heart and her passion with all of us, and how very blessed I feel to have had this conversation, to have reached out to you. And I was like, oh my God, I love you, and I want to interview you. What do you think? And you're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, oh my God. So good. I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, Paul, she said yes. Oh my God, it's amazing.
And I love that, because again, this is important to be able to make sure that people understand that even if you don't want to exercise just a little bit of something, we put all this pressure on ourselves. And it's for no reason, just try something, do it. And I know sometimes it's like, well, that's easier said than done, but just try, do what you can, do your best, and, don't give up on yourself.
Don't give up.
You do more than you think you can.
You've done what a beacon of inspiration. And I'm just so happy to have made this connection with you, Chris. I don't know if anybody has a question or a comment for Chris. We've shared so much. Chris is a celeb in my house. Oh, she's in my house too. She's a celebrity. My whole family is victim to depression. Okay. So hopefully this information is of benefit and of service to you. Exercise saved me mentally and physically. June. Thank you, June. I mean, this is the thing. This is the beauty of at least this platform with social media, that we get to find out, who do we impact? Who do we help?
Liam joined. Liam, we were talking about you already.
Liam, we were so talking about you, brother. Yeah. I can't wait to meet him.
I know.
Meet Liam. Yeah.
He's the cutest.
I'm going to have to get myself out to Philly somehow. Oh my goodness.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to bring you out here to Chi-Town. Like that is what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna give a shout out to Sky Fitness, my gym here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. My dream is to have Chris be our celebrity fitness instructor and raise awareness for people struggling with depression and bipolar disorder. So that's in the works, guys. So stay tuned. You're
Yeah.
gonna want to
There
know
was
about that.
somebody, there was somebody in Cleveland, Naomi, she's from Chicago, and she was like, "I wish you would do a class in Chicago." And I was like,
Guess
"Maybe,
what? Naomi,
maybe."
right here. Right
Oh,
here. Oh my God. Well, listen, Chris, so can you tell, I think everybody knows this, but maybe somebody doesn't. How can we reach you? How can we find you? What's
well,
the best way?
cdornerfitness.com is my website. On there, there's the live schedule. I post that every Saturday. And then Sunday, I post all of that, the live schedule to my socials, which is all C Dorner Fitness, at C Dorner Fitness, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And those are the only three that I really kind of do because, like,
It's a
you know.
lot. It's already a lot. You're like, God.
Like, what? Why aren't you on this? And I'm like, because my mental health can't deal with that.
It's like trying to go to 3 grocery stores in a day. I've actually done it and it makes me a little bit crazy. It's like too much
Me
already.
too.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
Well, listen, this has been an absolute joy for me today, Chris Dorner. Thank you so very much of C Dorner Fitness. And thank you all for joining. Thank you for bearing with me. This is my first time I've ever done a live before. So thank you guys so much. Please reach out to Chris because she's available and she's wonderful and she cares more than
Yeah. Oh,
anything.
also YouTube. That's where my videos are. My videos are all on YouTube. There's over 3,000 workouts on my channel of every kind. There's
3,000
step, there's
people.
yoga, there's stretching, there's weight training, there's boxing, anything that you I don't do Pilates, but I do have somebody that's great for Pilates.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
Fantastic.
it's all on YouTube, C Dorner Fitness or Christina Dorner, whichever one. You could go look for it. Please subscribe. It's free to
Subscribe.
subscribe, and the workouts are
Yes.
free.
Like and subscribe. Come on,
I'm trying to
guys.
get to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm
Hey,
almost there.
I'm with you. We're going to get you there. It's happening. It's all going down for
Oh,
real right now.
thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Enjoy your day. Chris, I'll be with you in a few minutes.
All
Okay.
right, thanks.
Mwah. Thank you, darling.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.